Can the tax justice demands to remove GST from food and tax financial speculation instead be won? Yes, I think they can, but it's going to take much bigger forces than Socialist Worker and the Alliance Party to achieve this. Okay, so I think I'm certainly under no illusions that two relatively small organisations are going to be able to carry this campaign. Yes, I think that because of the popularity of GST of food, and then linking that to a responsible, progressive solution, okay, there's a shot at this, okay, but it will require broad cooperation across the left, endorsement from the trade unions, to get behind it, to actually build it into a bigger campaign, okay, which has that realistic chance of success. Okay. How that success might be achieved and how that might sort of pan out in reality, who knows? Those are things that we'll tell in time. But, I'm kind of thinking that the glass is half full. Can we break the campaign into national consciousness? Yes, I think we can. Okay. If there's buy-in from a range of organisations across the left and other mass organisations actually supporting this campaign, I think we can break it into national consciousness. And we're tentatively on that path now. What role can the tax justice campaign play in popularising an economic alternative to neoliberalism? I've listened to Bill a few times. I know the stuff that's in the Alliance Party manifesto. I'm aware of the great stuff that was actually produced for the RAM manifesto. The left shares a whole lot of common ground on a range of things, and there's a lot of common ground. We know what the alternative is. There's a whole range of policies that we think should be implemented that make sense and will actually make a difference. Okay. The key thing, though, is actually linking that broad manifesto, if you like, alternative, with popular campaigns, okay? Because in today's current political climate, it's very difficult to campaign on a manifesto, okay? So I think what we need to do is look at how we campaign strategically around some key issues that are connecting with people, and then link those key issues with the broader goals. So, for instance, could the tax justice campaign be linked to the CTU's alternative economic strategy? Yep, I think it can. Okay, and the way that we promoted the tax justice campaign, and quite clearly linking it to a strategic document like the CTU's alternative economic strategy. Okay. No offence to Bill or whatever, but the alternative economic strategy, it's a bit dry. It's a bit kind of sort of hard to sort of talk about on the street to people. So, but we know all the great stuff that's in there. So if we can kind of raise the profile of that strategy for a popular campaign, which the tax justice campaign has the potential to be, then I think that leaves the CTU's alternative economic strategy in a much better place. Could a popular tax justice campaign be one element in helping bring about the much needed unity of left forces in New Zealand? Okay. Again, my answer is yes. I think the feedback that I'm getting from people in different existing political organisations, from people outside the left organisations, that this campaign has the potential to kind of bring those of us on the left together. It's not the only issue, okay, but it is one issue that I think the left can use to its advantage. Cool.
Well, thank you very much for your speech, Vaughan. Are there any brief questions?
Well, you're thinking about the reason why tax on food is unjust. I'd like to point out another unjust tax that you might like to turn your attention to, and that's that it's taxed on rates. Now, to put GST on rates is putting a tax on a tax. Now that is totally unjust. Everybody's got to pay rates, and it's just ridiculous to put GST on them. Why don't you think about that and turn your attention to that in time to come?
No, I agree totally. Yeah. Unjust, and I know there's, I know Grant Brooks has been involved in the campaign at Lower Hutt, just stood on a platform of removing GST from rates. So, yeah, definitely. And again, it's part of the, it's part of the picture of, undermining GST. So this campaign, obviously, if we can undermine GST through getting rid of GST on food, it's going to weaken the position of then having GST on rates as well. So, I don't see these things as being mutually exclusive. They can run together.
I don't think there's a short answer to this. It's a short question. How can we break the campaign? The first time I put out these submissions, I was positively leapt at the market. After that, it's been less fierce. How to re-fiercen it? Or maybe some of the material conditions might re-fierce it if the food prices are going up. I think that's it's going to start to hurt people, and when they're hurting, they're going to want a solution. So, but and things go in ways. It was clear after GST going up to 15% that the response at that point was quite incredible from people. It may sort of go up and down, but I think that there's overwhelming evidence that there's a basis of ongoing support. I think what needs to happen is the sense of a bigger campaign, of more involvement from left organisations, unions, etc., so that it actually, we kind of can transfer the popularity, this initial popularity that we're experiencing, into something that just feels a hell of a lot bigger, and that will actually give a lot of confidence to people that, okay, we can actually win this.
I think those questions up there are really good ones. I don't have an answer to any of them, but my own feeling about the GST campaign is that it hasn't been quite cutting edge for left advance, if you like. But I haven't taken on board the linkage that you've made with the taxing financial speculation. How do you feel that that's been going, and you've been going around, and people have been saying, oh, yeah, good thing, where's the money coming from? And then you've been able to get...
Yeah, exactly. What's happening with the petition? Those two clear demands, opened up some discussion, about what we're actually advocating. The thing at the moment, I don't think in current conditions in New Zealand, you could go out on the street and try and build a popular campaign to tax financial speculation. Or you could go out on the street and say, I'm going to build a campaign for a financial transaction tax. I don't see the opportunity to do that. Okay. But obviously focusing on GST on food, which has proven popularity, and then linking that with the more radical content of this petition is the idea of taxing financial speculation. Okay. So if we can lever up some popularity, or some kind of popularising of this aspect of the petition, and actually sort of maybe getting mainstream awareness of the need to actually introduce a financial transaction tax or other alternatives, then I think this campaign can be a vehicle for that.
I might just leave the questions there.